The Chicago Bears are moving with an intensity we haven't seen in years. The front office is not just shuffling the deck, they are actively re-engineering the identity of this franchise. From the trenches to the secondary, every move being made right now is calculated to shift the balance of power in the NFC North. We are seeing a complete overhaul in how this roster is constructed, and the implications for our upcoming season are massive. Stay locked in, because the landscape of this team is changing by the hour.
The Chicago Bears have officially bolstered their interior defensive line by acquiring a formidable presence from the Atlanta Falcons. This move to bring in a 6'2", 315-pound defensive tackle is a clear signal that the coaching staff is prioritizing physical dominance at the point of attack. When you look at the trenches, you realize that games are won or lost in the gaps. For a team that has been searching for consistent push against the run and a more reliable interior pass rush, this signing is an absolute game changer. I have been speaking with sources inside the building, and the consensus is that this player brings a level of grit and technical proficiency that has been missing from our rotation. He is not just a body, he is a disruptor. This acquisition allows the defensive coordinator to be more creative with his blitz packages, knowing he has a reliable anchor in the middle of the line. It is a classic move for a team that wants to play bully ball in the modern NFL. You look at his film and you see a player who refuses to be moved, someone who eats double teams for breakfast, and that is exactly what the Bears need to set the tone for the entire defensive unit. The analytical data suggests that this will significantly lower the opponent's yards per carry average, which is vital when you are playing in the harsh conditions of the NFC North. I am genuinely excited about the ceiling of this defensive group with such a reliable force now in the rotation. It changes the entire calculus of how opposing offensive coordinators will have to prepare for us. This is not just about filling a roster spot, it is about establishing a culture of toughness that permeates through the entire defensive line room. We are looking at a unit that is finally starting to look like a championship-caliber group, capable of winning the physical battles that defined the great Chicago teams of the past. It is a massive upgrade in terms of raw power and discipline. However, while the defensive front is getting stronger, the front office is simultaneously executing a masterclass in salary cap management that has the rest of the league taking notice. This is just the beginning of what has been a whirlwind of activity, and the front office is clearly playing chess while others are playing checkers. We have to look at how this fits into the broader strategy of the team, especially with other positions still needing attention. But before we dive into the rest of the roster moves, we have to address the biggest surprise of the opening window. Is the momentum from this defensive signing enough to propel them through the rest of the week?
If you want to keep getting exclusive insights and deep dive analysis like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel now. We are covering every single move of this offseason with the detail you deserve.
The Chicago Bears have pulled off what many league insiders are calling one of the most underrated moves of the entire free agency period. While other teams were throwing massive contracts at aging veterans, the front office in Chicago, led by the tactical mind of the general manager, managed to secure a high-impact player at an incredible value. This is the definition of a steal. When you look at the landscape of the first 48 hours of free agency, most teams are overpaying to fill holes, but the Bears found a way to maximize their cap space while bringing in elite talent. My sources indicate that the competition for this player was intense, but the pitch made by the coaching staff and the vision for the future of this team was the deciding factor. This is a testament to the culture that is being built in Chicago, where players are starting to see the long-term potential of this rebuild. The tactical analysis of this signing reveals a player who fits perfectly into the current scheme, providing versatility that will make the offense much harder to predict. We are talking about a player who has the speed to stretch the field and the intelligence to read coverages in real time, which is exactly what the quarterback needs to take that next step in his development. It is rare to find this kind of value on day one, and it shows that the front office has a clear, data-driven plan to upgrade the roster without sacrificing long-term flexibility. This is not just a signing. It is a statement that the Bears are no longer a team that just participates in free agency, but a team that dictates the market. The financial structure of this deal is equally impressive, allowing the team to remain active in other areas where they still need depth. As we move forward, the question becomes how this new addition will integrate with the existing core of playmakers. The chemistry in the locker room is already starting to shift, and the energy in the facility is palpable. You can feel that the expectations for this year are significantly higher than they were 12 months ago. This is the kind of move that wins championships, because it allows you to build a deep, talented roster that can withstand the inevitable injuries of a long season. I have been tracking the market for this specific position for months, and the fact that we landed him at this price point is nothing short of brilliant. It highlights the discipline and the strategic patience that this organization has adopted under the current leadership. But with every game, there is often a loss, and the roster turn is starting to affect some of our long-term staples who are now heading to different destinations.
The Chicago Bears are officially saying goodbye to a significant piece of their secondary, as a former second-round pick has decided to take his talents to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a development that many fans saw coming, yet it still stings when you consider the investment the team made in his development over the last few years. Losing a player of this caliber is a reminder of the harsh realities of the NFL salary cap era. We have seen a clear shift in philosophy, where the front office is prioritizing specific types of athletic profiles, and unfortunately, that means some familiar faces are going to find new homes. The Steelers are known for identifying talent that fits their hard-nosed defensive identity, and they clearly see the same potential that the Bears once saw in him. This move leaves a void in the depth chart that the coaching staff will have to address immediately, likely through the upcoming draft or further free agency moves. My analysis suggests that the team is comfortable moving on because they have internal candidates they believe can step up, but it is a gamble nonetheless. You cannot replace the experience and the institutional knowledge that a former high draft pick brings to the table. This is the domino effect of the aggressive moves we have seen over the last 48 hours. When you prioritize certain upgrades, you inevitably have to sacrifice depth elsewhere, and this departure is the price of doing business in a competitive market. I have spoken with people close to the player, and he is excited about the opportunity in Pittsburgh, but he also expressed his gratitude for his time in Chicago. It is a professional move, but for the fans, it is another reminder that the roster is being completely reshaped. We have to watch how the team responds to this loss in the coming days. Will they look to the veteran market, or will they trust the young guys to fill the gap? The pressure is now on the scouting department to ensure that the depth remains a strength rather than a weakness. It is a delicate balance, and the margin for error is razor thin when you are trying to compete for a division title. The departure of such a talented piece leaves us wondering what the secondary will look like when the season kicks off. Are we prepared for the schematic changes that will be required to account for his absence? Every move in the NFL is interconnected, and losing a former second-round pick is a signal that the team is doubling down on a specific vision, even if it means letting go of players who were once central to the plan. This is the business side of the game that we rarely like to discuss, but it is essential to understanding the trajectory of the Bears this year.
The landscape in Chicago is shifting rapidly. We have seen new talent arrive, smart value signings, and some tough goodbyes. The front office is clearly committed to a specific direction, and while these moves are risky, they are undoubtedly bold. As we look ahead to the draft and the remaining free agency period, the question is simple. Are these the right pieces to finally push the Bears over the top? I want to know what you think. Does the arrival of new muscle in the trenches outweigh the loss of our secondary depth? Drop a comment below and let's get the conversation going. We will be here every step of the way to break it all down. Until next time, stay tuned.